Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to series 11 of 30 Days of Sketches. And there are actually 31 exclusive sketches that we're using this month. This one is done by the Scrappy Sisters, and I love this sketch. I really like the angles on it. These kind of triangles don't bother me for whatever reason. It's just the ones that are like free floating on the page. I have two photos. One is of my daughter and my cousin's daughter, and the other is a dolphin in the ocean. And these were taken on our trip to Santa Cruz Island, and you can always find a lot of dolphins in the channel there, and so it's kind of cool. I really liked the corner element of all of those, kind of like a half a starburst on the page there. And so I'm using a whole bunch of different blues. I'm keeping it somewhat monochromatic. I am going to add a little bit of pink in a little bit, but for the major elements on the page, they are all very monochromatic. I started with that mixed media piece in the very corner there. I only have a little bit of it left. It was something I did a couple of years back for this album, which has just been waiting to be worked on. So finally glad to be getting something done on it. I have all of the papers kitted up so that I can carry them through on multiple pages, so you see repeated elements throughout the album. And I am just going to go ahead and create this half of a starburst in the corner here, using these blue papers that I pulled out. Now I realize like those two blues don't match great. There are a lot of the blues that are in the mixed media piece in that the lighter hash marks, but the darker ones don't match perfectly. But that's okay, because I'm going to add a lot of other blues and then it's going to be fine. So it doesn't have to be like a perfect match or anything like that. I don't use solid cardstock very often, so very unusual for me to have this blue piece in here. And I'm going to go ahead and use that as well. And then I will be using a little bit of the paper that is on the left hand side of my background paper. Now my background paper, I think it's from Kaisercraft. I can't swear to that, but it does have those blue stars up in the corner, or up in the upper left hand area, and I really like those. I didn't want to cover them up. They are also underneath the papers that I am putting down now, so I just strategically turned my paper so that I would be able, or we would be able to see them on one portion of the page. Now if I had not turned my paper and I left it, it would have covered up both of the starred elements, or star elements that are on the page. I did try to get a little bit of more of this mixed media paper, but then I realized my fish are swimming the wrong way, so I quickly abandoned that idea. And I don't mind that there's only one piece of it. It matches the water, and it matches my daughter's jacket very well. And so it doesn't bother me that there's only one piece of it, and I don't think it really will bother you either once you see the completed layout. I really like the way that it turns out. So while I finish this starburst design, I just wanted to let you know that there is a playlist for everyone playing along with 31 or 30 Days of Sketches. The playlist link is down below, and you can see all of the videos that have been released so far if you go check out that playlist. So be sure to do that. There isn't a real science to creating this starburst. As you can see there, I'm just butting it up, the paper up against the next piece, and then using my ruler to draw a line and then cutting it. And it makes it a really simple way to do this. They don't all have to be uniform in size. In fact, on the sketch, they're not uniform in size. So I think that works really well. I did back my photos with white paper, and now I'm going to back them with the blue paper. I don't need this blue to go all the way around the larger photo because it is in large part sitting on the blue paper, and so it wouldn't matter anyway. You wouldn't be able to see it, and it looks just fine. You can't even really tell. And it looks intentional, and it was intentional. So the smaller piece here, I am going to go ahead and do all of the sides, because I knew it was going to overlap the other photo, and I wasn't really sure where the placement was going to be at first. So I was like, I'm just going to do the whole thing, but I know there's a large chance that it's going to overlap the other photo, and I wanted it to have that blue outline all the way around. Now this card that I'm cutting down right now, I'm just trimming a 3x4 down So it's not quite so big. It is also from Kaisercraft, and I don't even know what collection. It's been so long since I put this in the my kit. I couldn't even tell you what the collection is, but it does say keep smiling because life is a beautiful thing and there is so much to smile about. And since I'm using this card with a lot of words on it, I decided not to put a title and just let the card do the talking for me. And I don't feel like every single layout has to have a title, especially when it is all one particular trip. There's nothing that I need to really call out on here. I just really like the pictures and that you get to see the dolphins on your way over to the Santa Cruz Island when you're on the ferry. So I think that's really cool. I am using some Heidi Swapp Sun Chaser, but it is not, it was not originally in my kit, but a lot of the colors match. So I went ahead and threw it in because I needed a few more embellishment options because I'm running low already and my album is not even like halfway done. So added a little bit of that. I also added a little bit of Bow Bunny ephemera that matched as well. And the nice thing is by getting those things added a little bit earlier in the process, I can kind of intermix them into varying layouts throughout the album, so it just carries the theme across. I don't need something from every collection on every page, but when you get turn the page a few times, you're going to see something, another element from that collection that ties it in, like the same colors, the same feel, and it works really well for me, and I really like that. So this little piece says this view though, and I wanted to go ahead and use that because the view out there is just absolutely stunning. It is on a clear sticker, so I will be backing that with a little bit of white paper, and then I've pulled out a bunch of the other ephemera from this collection. I'm liking the way that is looking, and I'm going to ink everything up with some black soot distress ink just to make it all pop and make it stand out from the background a little bit more. I wasn't really sure where to put this clear sticker at this point, but I do know I'm going to put it on white paper because that is my go-to, unless I put it right on the photo, which is very rare. For me anyway. There were these florals in the same Sun Chaser collection, and there are florals on the sketch, but that doesn't mean you have to use florals. But I thought I'm going to go ahead and pull those in just to soften it up a bit and bring in something a little bit different. And they are just like a white with a gold outline, and then the other one is clear with a gold outline. And so that's also going on to some white paper and being fussy cut around, just like the little wordy sticker that says this view though. So I thought I would go ahead and just complete that. That's going to help it pop off of the blue in that bottom left hand corner of the photos. I am actually working on this layout while I am on a trip to Tahoe, and I didn't have my big scissors with me, which this is like the perfect layout to use my really long scissors, because all of those big long straight lines with all of those triangles would work really well. But at this point, it is what it is. I just have my small scissors, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. So I fiddle around with where I put this little wordy sticker. It is going to end up right up there where I have it right now, but I'm going to mess around with it for a little bit here just to figure out the placement and where I like it the best. And then I did find a little pinkish heart in the same collection here, but I'm going to move that heart down to the bottom cluster just because the words on that sticker are already that pinkish color, and there's a pinkish label up there at the top as well. So I wanted to bring a little bit more of the pinkish down to the bottom cluster. I only have that little banner saying down there, so I'm going to complete it by adding a few more gold hearts. I thought that would also bring in a little bit more gold to match up with those flowers. And that is it, you guys. Pretty simple. I hope you enjoyed this layout and this video, If you have questions or comments, you can always leave those down below. One of the other reasons I wanted to mention that I bring in the pink is in that mixed media, there is a little bit of a hint of pink. So I thought that worked really well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.